Sixth dialogue. I am. John 8:57 through 59. The Jews said to Jesus, "What? How can you say that you have seen Abraham? You are not even 50 years old." Jesus answered, "The fact is, before Abraham was born, I am." When he said this, they picked up stones to throw at him, but Jesus hid, and then he left the temple area.
I am. The people say their final words. You aren't old enough to know Abraham. Jesus' final statement. The one that infuriated those would-be believers who had initially believed him.
The fact is, before Abraham was born, I am.
My favorite movie. Growing up, my favorite movie was The Ten Commandments. Oh, I remember all the adults at church telling us children, remember it's only a movie, and this movie is making up a dialogue that isn't in the Bible. I, of course, knew that because I listened to my Sunday school teachers throughout the years, but those teachers had never made the Red Sea part like Charlton Heston playing Moses. But the one part in the movie that sent chills down my back and gave me goosebumps was when Moses saw the burning bush and God spoke to him. I did not know the meaning of I am who I am at the time, but it was done so powerfully and with such a deep, resonating voice that I knew it had to be important. That name had to be holy.
The first question I would ask is, why did the people get so mad at the final statement of Jesus that they wanted to stone him? Look again at what he said. Before Abraham was born, I am. What a strange way of talking, but not if you believe in Jesus as God, come to earth in the form of a man. Remember the word incarnation? Jesus was using the Exodus declaration from the burning bush, I am who I am. In John, Jesus' words were not lost on the people. They thought they knew what he was saying earlier, some even believing. Some had claimed discipleship, but like the disclosure after feeding the 5,000, they couldn't handle these words. When we accept Jesus' gift of salvation, we enter a state where we will not experience spiritual death. Yet Jesus' power extends beyond this. He has the authority to erase sin and spiritual death through his crucifixion. And he also has the power over physical death and the grave, Hades, through his resurrection. This is not just a demonstration of power, but a source of hope and reassurance. It is demonstrated when he raises Lazarus from the dead in chapter 11, and when the Father raises Jesus after his crucifixion. Furthermore, Jesus will raise all of his disciples on the last day. In Revelations 1:17 through 18, John quotes Jesus,
Don't be afraid. I am the first and the last. I am the one who lives. I was dead, but look, I am alive forever and ever, and I hold the keys of death and Hades.
Astronomy. Science was not always my best subject in school, but I did enjoy astronomy, and I still do. I remember being first introduced to the concept that the universe goes on, and it was hard for me to imagine. But then I thought, if there was an end to space, say a wall, what would be on the other side of the wall? I had a dilemma. I couldn't understand something that went on, but I also couldn't imagine what would be on the other side if there were a stopping point.
When Jesus said in verse 58, before Abraham was, I am, I found the same dilemma. He was not just saying, I have always existed, but revealing an awe-inspiring truth. Jesus had no beginning and no end. If he, as God, had a beginning, what would have happened before God? He invaded our world, his creation, and became one of us. This revelation should inspire a profound sense of wonder and reverence. Wow! I am then sums up the phrase in Revelation 4:8.
He always was, he is, and he is coming.
No, I don't understand that spiritual truth any more than I understand the physical truth about the universe, but I believe both.